keyboard away, and then I'll get my screen up. And hope that you guys can see this. Just finish admitting people here. And if someone could just let me know in the chat if you can actually see Summer Essentials on the screen, if my screen is sharing okay, or let me know even verbally, because I think you guys are still off mute. Can you end up seeing?
It's showing.
Excellent. Excellent. The worst thing is getting halfway through a screen show and then realizing that it's not actually going anywhere. So welcome everyone. Again, my name's Jackie and I am super excited to be here. I'm going to be sort of co-teaching again with Rosetta. I was doing that over the last few years and had to drop off on Wednesdays for the last probably 6 months or so due to a course that I was taking, but that has shifted, so everything is working out so we can do some co-teaching again, so it's awesome. I was just saying we're missing her tonight. She's at a live class, so I'm going to do my best to fill her shoes. This is one of my favorite classes to do because I love summer, but I'm also a farm girl out here in Manitoba, and use the oils very, very regularly in my garden, as well as in and around the house and just with kids and sort of thriving in the summer. So I love sharing this class. So it's a lot of fun. I'll try not to get too carried away with stories. So our theme for the evening is summer essentials. There's so many ways to use essential oils. And why is it that we would want to use essential oils in the summer specifically? Summer is a time where we can sort of utilize the magic of the plants, that they are really made to work with our bodies. So they're truly highly potent chemical compounds. Actually, I'll have you guys, if you don't mind. I hear some wonderful geese and some birds in the background there, if you
I'm
don't
so
mind.
sorry.
Oh, it's
I don't know
beautiful.
where
I
my mute
love it.
is.
I love it. It sounds so great. Or like it might be sometimes with Zoom the sound takes over. So if you guys are okay putting your
Yeah,
mutes.
I was looking for it.
That's
So
perfect.
there it is.
If not, it's not a huge deal, really. Don't worry about it. No, I don't think anyone will mind
They're
having
gone.
background. That's awesome. So yeah, essential oils are just they're these natural compounds that are made to work with our bodies. And I really am kind of an oil snob, where I have some old bottles of oils from other companies that I just don't feel comfortable using on my family, especially when you can't see the transparency like you can with doTERRA. doTERRA is amazing. They do over 60 tests on each batch of oils that they make. They're super potent. We know that they're grown in the places where they're grown best and where the chemical constituents are the most transparent, as well as the most regulated. They also have a website that you can go right on to, source2you.com, where if you want to know exactly what's in your oils, you go right onto the bottom of your oil bottle and there's a little barcode. You enter that in, it's going to give you all those chemical constituents. And I have been with a lot of different companies over time, and transparency is not something that, especially with essential oils, is very easy to find. You have to really look for information. I've had some companies send me the sheets that have all of the red, sort of the last test results on them, and they've often been from years ago. They'll get one good test result and they'll keep that for all their batches of oil, where doTERRA tests each one. It's such a solid company. They do so much giving back to the farmers and the harvesters. They really take care of their wellness advocates, their customers. They're just incredible. So I have become a doTERRA snob over the years, where that's all I'll use. And especially when we're going to be putting something in and on our bodies, we want to make sure that the quality is second to none. And with doTERRA, that is something that we never really have to worry about. So to get started, summertime is all about making memories. It is about staying healthy, keeping bugs away, soothing little owies or boo-boos or other kind of skin irritations from being outside. They are it's for refreshing, hydrating, staying cool, keeping your mood happy, supporting your outdoor and travel needs, adding flavor to your favorite treats. We have whole class on just cooking with oils in the summer for barbecues and things like that, as well as we have a whole class on gardening with essential oils. And next week, I'm actually going to be hopping on Wednesday because I had a few requests from some of my farmer friends out here to do a gardening class. And so it's not in our regular roster yet, but on Wednesday on this Zoom link, I will be doing a gardening class next week as well, where we're just focusing on the garden and how to use oils in them. We will touch on it a little bit tonight, but there's so much information about summer and the things that you can do with the oils that this is kind of like a generalized summer thriving with oils class. And we do get more specific, but we don't want to overload you with everything all at once. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is protecting and soothing your skin with essential oils. And now one of the beautiful things that doTERRA has come up with in the last couple of years is a sunscreen. We were always making our own sunscreens, trying to mix and match oils that had the higher SPFs, like the ones we know of with helichrysum and things like that. But doTERRA has taken it to the ultimate level and made a variety of sunscreens depending on what it is that you are looking for. Now, this first one that I'm going to speak of, the Mineral Sunscreen Daily Moisturizer, this is something that you can use under your makeup, that you can just use on your face every day. It's really good against protecting both against sun and blue light, as well as it's something that if you're going on vacation, you always have to have these reef safe, natural type of sunscreens that you want to make sure it's going to be good for the earth. This is something that you can just take with you on a trip and not even worry about. It has Evodia grapeseed oil as well as some essential oils in it. It has a 28 SPF, and it has been legislated free of parabens, phthalates, oxybenzone, and synthetic fragrances. So you know it's going to smell really good. You know it's going to work really good. And it's something that you can just wear every day. These next few items are a variation of, but ones that you would want to use on your body if you wanted a little bit more SPF. It's a 30 SPF that we have now in a mineral sunscreen spray, as well as a mineral sunscreen lotion. So there's one, the spray is recommended for the body. So if you're going to be spraying your kids down, if you're going to be spraying down your shoulders and things like that, the spray tends to go a really long way. Again, has no parabens, phthalates, phenoxyethanol, oxybenzones, no fragrances, no synthetic fragrances, just the natural ones. And it has the non-nano zinc oxide. So that was something that when I was making my own sunscreen, I had to look for the non-nano zinc oxide, had to try and find raspberry seed oil, had to try and find the jojoba esters, and it was really expensive and difficult to find all these things to be able to make them. But what all of those things have in common is that they all have a natural SPF. And so what doTERRA did was took all of these things, put them all together for us in both a spray and a lotion. And I find that they work for at least a couple of hours, usually about 3 hours. So then you can reapply just like any other sunscreen. So for the body, we have the spray. For the face and body, we have the lotion, which are both a 30 SPF. And the other thing that we have is this mineral sunscreen stick that came out sort of near the end of the year. And that was really phenomenal. It has a 40 SPF and it's in a stick. So it's great for the beach where you can just literally apply it on. You can rub it in. It's going to be an extra bit of like an extra coverage as far as SPF goes, but it's also not messy. So you're not wasting any, you're not getting any stickiness anywhere else. And it's just this beautiful little product that just rolls up almost like a deodorant. You just apply it and off you go. So it's good. They're water resistant. You can wear them into the water. They're just absolutely beautiful sunscreens. And you know, when you're putting them on your kids or on yourself, that you're not toxifying yourself, that you're just creating a natural healing environment. And the oils that are in there are just incredible, like the turmeric and the helichrysum. So, they're just going to nourish your skin as well as protect it from the sun. So, beautiful combination. And I'm really excited that we actually have these now. We were asked for years, are we ever going to have sunscreen? And finally we do. Then we have this after sun restorative spray. It is not a sunscreen, but what it does is nourishes your skin after you've been in the sun. So if you've got a good sunburn going on, or if you didn't have your sunscreen with you and you're trying to sort of recover very quickly, it has the lavender and the peppermint in there. So it's actually going to help repair your skin. It helps to soothe burns. It helps to turn it into a tan right away. And it also feels really great. It's so moisturizing and it's so nourishing. Has the Japanese green tea in it, vitamin E, aloe vera. So it's going to sort of draw that heat out from your skin. It's going to re-nourish your skin so you're not going to get that weathered look. And you can even just use it as a moisturizer if you've been out in the sun for a short time on your face, if you've gotten a little bit pink. Really good at protecting your skin because we know how damaging the sun can be. So this was exciting. Now, if you don't have the after sun spray, or you'd like to just try and make something yourself at home as an after sun spray, especially if you've had a burn, I love making up this recipe where we just take a small 4-ounce bottle, and you can use either water. I use water. I just add a little bit of fractionated coconut oil into it, and add 20 drops of lavender and 20 drops of peppermint to just about a 4-ounce bottle, a small bottle. And all you got to do is just shake it up a little bit and spritz it on to whatever area that has gotten a bit of a sunburn. It works with windburn as well. It just feels really beautiful, really cooling, and really refreshing, but it really helps to repair that skin. And I've used this even with my kids where they've gotten way too much sun on the shoulders. The next day it was a tan. They went to bed without being overheated or upset. No lobster skin happening there when we ended up applying that before bed. That's one thing I love to do for them. Do keep in mind that peppermint can be a little bit awakening. So if you've never tried it before, do it a few hours before bed just to give them or as soon as you're out of the sun, just to give them the most benefit from it. And then if you need to, you can always apply just lavender if they respond too excitedly to the peppermint, or use this spray and they'll have a nice relaxing sleep with their skin tingling and feeling really good. I love making this cooling after sun spray. A little trick that I learned working markets and staying out in the summer all the time was to use peppermint oil. Our Peppermint Touch is a safe roller that you can just throw in your purse, throw in your bag or your pocket when you're outside, and you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be sweating and overheating, going to weddings, things like that. I love having peppermint in my pocket for the summer. I not only put it on my feet before I go out, because I'm just a really hot person and I tend to get really hot and sweaty really quickly. I love putting a drop in my water so that I can stay cool with that. But I also love rubbing it on the back of my neck. So as soon as I would feel too hot standing at my market table while I was selling veggies, or if I was selling oils, I would take a couple drops of peppermint just straight out of the bottle, put it on my hands, rub it together, and just rub it up the back of my neck. And it just cools your whole body instantly and feels so good and wakes you up as well. It keeps you nice and alert, gives you some focus. An absolutely beautiful oil. It's a must-have to have in the summer. The bugs this summer. We're going to get into bug relief a little bit because I don't know if you guys have noticed, I have horses and I have never I've had horses for more of my life than I've not had horses, and I have never seen horse flies like this ever in my life. The black flies, even the bugs are insane. I feel like the mosquitoes are taking a little bit of a back seat because there's so many dragonflies out there, but the flies and the horse flies have been absolutely insane. So we have busted out our TerraShield for the last couple weeks here and have been just using it so often. It's been absolutely incredible. Here are a few ways to use it. It has come in this beautiful little 30 ml bottle, which is an outdoor blend spray. So I always have one of these in my bag, always have one of them in my car. Whenever we're going to be out at baseball games at night, we just kind of spritz down our legs. You're going to use this just like you would a normal bug spray. You're going to apply it to your skin. It says it lasts for up to 4 hours, and I do agree with that. Lately, even with we've had people sitting beside us soaked in DEET and soaked in Muscal and all this kind of stuff, and within about half an hour they're going off and respraying themselves, where it's a good hour, 2 hours before I think of going to respritzing myself again, just depending on the times. You go through those witching hours at around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, you may want to do a little extra spurt. But I do find for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, you get some good relief from this. And later on, I'll show you how to use this on your animals as well. So the oils that are in this TerraShield that make it so magical are the lemon eucalyptus, which is bugs just do not like. Ylang ylang also protects you from mosquitoes. Mosquitoes do not love the smell of ylang ylang. Cedarwood, it's really good for almost all bugs, even sluggy bugs, ticks, things like that. Arbor Vitae has that powerful repellent for flying insects. They really don't like it. If you think about cedar, how cedar keeps moths away and things like that, it just makes sense. Super powerful at repelling bugs. Nootka, the wood oil, it's a lot like, I find it smells a little bit like tea tree. It's got this nice sort of woody citrusy scent, but bugs do not like it. So that's one of the ones that I really like using for tick repellent as well. I don't have a tick repellent in this slideshow, I don't think. So take note of some of those ones like the Arbor Vitae and the Nootka if you have around. They really do not love those particular oils. It has the fractionated coconut oil in it to be the disperser and the diluter. Catnip, you've probably heard of people planting catnip all around to repel mosquitoes. Mosquitoes do not like catnip. And it has the Litsea in there as well, which actually makes it, I find, smell really good, kind of citrusy and yummy. And again, those flying insects like flies and mosquitoes really do not love the Litsea. So this is a beautiful blend just to have. It's already mixed up. You don't have to be making your own bug sprays, although we are going to have a few slides in here to show you that. So please do feel free to take screenshots because these recipes are amazing. So TerraShield, like I say, comes in the bottle like this, in the 30 ml spray bottle. It also comes in the 30 ml or the 15 ml dropper bottle. So you can make your own. You can use just a drop of this. You can just put a drop of this around your ankles or your elbows, especially if you're trying to prevent ticks and things like that. I like using it in those sweatier areas behind the knees, the elbows, the back of the neck. I just soak myself in it. I even spray my hair just to kind of keep the mosquitoes out from around the face because I'm always gardening at night. The other magical thing I like doing with this is putting it in a diffuser and just putting it on the table where we're sitting outside, especially if you're having guests over and you don't want that smelly, those smelly coils, those doo-doo coils that we used to light all the time. A little pilot diffuser with some TerraShield in it is much more effective, and it's going to keep those bugs away. I love topping it up with a little bit of patchouli. If you're noticing that the flies are coming out, especially if you're eating, flies do really not like patchouli. So it's a good one to just sort of keep them out of the area altogether. They just won't come anywhere near you if you have that patchouli out. Now, if you have been sweating or swimming, this is something unlike the sunscreen that you will have to reapply. And you know what, honestly, I don't know if it's just the bugs over the last few years, but every hour or two, I'm kind of respritzing myself just to make sure that I'm giving myself enough coverage so that they don't start getting into your space too much, just to keep them away altogether. So this is something that you don't have to worry about overdosing on or making yourself sick with having to spray yourself and needing a shower right after. You actually smell quite good. So when you are talking about TerraShield or bug prevention with your animals. Now, with animals, they will tell you if they don't like an oil. If you guys have animals or dogs, especially, you've probably done this where you've just taken the bottle and just allowed them to smell it. And this is a way to kind of know how your dog or your animal is going to react. I love bringing my oils out to my horses and having them make really funny faces. Their mouths do all sorts of funny things with certain oils. They really like some they try and eat, some they just like make, like I just brought out, I don't know, napalm or something. They're hilarious. There's certain oils, like On Guard, they're not a huge fan of, but the TerraShield, I think they associate it now with relief. So they come rubbing and they're trying to like put their mouths on the actual dispenser when I'm spraying them down. That's quite cute. So my favorite way with animals is to actually spray the TerraShield Outdoor Blend spray on my hands, or take a drop of the TerraShield 15 mil and just rub it in your hands and then literally rub it down their body. I try and get the tips of their ears and in and around in between the forehead and things like that, just to be able to give them protection all over, especially from ticks and things like that. But you can literally just spread it on their body with just a drop or two. You don't need a lot. This way you're taking in most of the oil and they're sort of getting the residue. And so it's not going to be overbearing for them. The thing is once it's on their bodies, they can't get away from it, right? So you want to just test it out, try and see how they react to it. If they're sneezing like crazy or pawing at their face, you might want to make sure that you're diluting it. Or you can try this dog collar potion that we have coming up here. So a DIY flea collar, as well as even using this for tick prevention. It is a way to have something on your animal all the time. So first of all, I take their collar off and I wash it with Castile soap or even just salt water, just to make sure that it's dried out and that all the oils from their skin aren't going to prevent the oils coming into the collar. So you take a nice clean collar and you soak it in this solution here. So you make a little solution with 10 drops of eucalyptus, 10 drops of TerraShield, 10 drops of lemongrass, and about 4 ounces of water. It says distilled water, but if you just use regular water, that's okay as well. And then you're going to put it in a little dish. I generally just use like a glass bowl and mix it up in there, and then dunk the collar in and soak the collar for about 20 minutes, just allowing it to completely soak in. Then you allow the collar to dry completely before you put it back on your pet. You're not going to put it on wet and soaking with the solution. You're going to literally let it hang out to dry. And then you're just going to place the collar back on the pet, and that's going to last you for a couple of weeks. If you notice that either their fleas came back or it's not working enough, you can also re-soak it. You can redo it again a week later, but usually it lasts a couple of weeks. And for some people, they have even made a spray that what they will do is just take off the collar, spray the outside of the collar, let it dry, and then put the collar back on. That way it's just preventing any new bugs from coming on, but it's not soaking into their skin all the time. It's not touching them directly. So if they have some kind of emotion where they're not loving it, or you feel like you just want a little bit of extra protection, you can take the collar off and just actually give it a little bit of a spritz and put it back on, especially if you could be going out for a walk in the bush or something like that. This is something you can kind of use at your discretion. But this is a DIY flea collar, so if you have animals that have been going through this, or even if you have one of the pets in the house that have it, you can put this on as a preventative for all of the others as well. So kind of a neat little trick of the trade, and that is something that you can do, and you can use. You don't have to use the eucalyptus, but even if you use the TerraShield and lemongrass, you can add a little bit of the cedarwood, some of the oils that we talked about before, some of the patchouli. Depending on where it is that you're going, you have a really great way to actually apply this to your pets and be able to go out into the woods safely without them being harassed. Lately, my dog looks like Pigpen from Peanuts, where there's all these flies kind of flying around, so I'll spray her down. I've actually been taking before and after pictures because it's so funny. It's like go from Pigpen to nothing, and that was the only thing that I did that was different, was often just took a drop of TerraShield and just rubbed it in my hands and wiped her down. So, like I was talking about with the barbecue diffuser blend, it's something that you can just put under the table or even on the table, around the table. Those pilot diffusers are great because they don't need to be plugged in or anything. You can just kind of move them around. A great recipe is 6 drops of TerraShield, 5 drops of peppermint, and 5 drops of citronella, and literally put it in your diffuser. That is a strong diffuser blend, but it is because it's for outside. And you're just going to put it sort of centrally wherever everybody is so that you can actually get the benefits of having those bugs stay away from your barbecue food, and you can actually enjoy your evenings outside, because that's what summer's all about, right? If you don't have citronella and you have lemon eucalyptus, you can also use that as well. All right, bug bite blend. This is one of my favorite things. I actually just made a whole bunch of them. I get little roller balls where I'll show you guys what I did here. Took a little roller ball and just mixed up these oils. I took 10 drops of Purify, 5 drops of lavender, 5 drops of copaiba, and 5 drops of peppermint. Put it in a roller ball. Now I just have to top it up with coconut oil. And then I made these fancy dancy labels on my printer, and I just have to take off a label, wrap it around, and I actually sell these at the store, one of the stores that we have in town that sells Manitoba made items, and they're flying off the shelves. I brought 10 in last week and they're gone already because they work so well. Now, even last night, I had a crazy huge horsefly bite on my arm. I couldn't sleep. I was itching, and I was like, oh, where's my bug bite roller? And I went and grabbed it, put it on, and it was like instantly soothed and gone. The Purify actually helps to kind of push the toxins out of your system. So I love this one, Purify alone for bee stings. I've been at the markets again where wasps or bees have not bees. It's always been wasps. Those darn wasps have bitten children or people, and you see them cry. You hear the scream. I grab my Purify and I head right over there, take a drop, and literally put it right. I just circle my finger right around that bee sting, and within minutes, it's like it never even happened. It's quite amazing. So horsefly bites, fly bites, those no-see-um bites, I've been getting pictures every day of people's legs and arms where it's just a whole bunch of bites. All of a sudden you see all these little bites, and people are like, what is this? And it's these no-see-ums. You don't even see them outside, but especially if you're outside again at that witching hour around 7 o'clock or so, you really notice that these little tiny little flies are coming out and they're biting, and you don't even feel it at first. And that's why when you look down, you have 10 or 15 bites all of a sudden in one place. So this has by far been the best bug bite blend roller that I have made. I never used to put Purify in it. I always used to use lavender, copaiba, peppermint, and basil. But this is second to none. I love the Purify drops. And this is something that you can roll right over the mosquito bite. Now we're going to talk in a little minute about tick bites, and that's a bit of a different story. But this you're going to rub right over the bite. And what I found the magic to be with this is you put it on, and then about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you put it on once more. The bite is gone. You don't even worry about it after. It's like it disappears completely. Sometimes the next day it'll resurface, so then you can put it back on. But this works like magic. It's absolutely amazing. I love this bug bite blend roller. Say that 10 times fast. Alrighty, so Manitoba bug spray. Now we have TerraShield, but we live in Manitoba, so there are people that go out for lots of hikes. We live in a lot of rural areas where we are exposed to big time bugs. And so our original bug spray before we had the TerraShield spray was kind of non-existent. We had TerraShield, but we didn't have a way to sort of dispense it. And so we were always making different bug sprays. This has been fined and refined as the Manitoba bug spray, because you wear this and you are not going to have bugs coming near you. So this is like the camping spray. This is the one that you're going to want to have if you're outdoors right now, especially. It is a lot of oils. and it's a small bottle. So you can double this bottle size if you have an 8-ounce bottle. This will still work, especially if you're going to be using it on kids a lot, but this is kind of like the 2.0 version. So we have our patchouli in there for flies. If flies are a big problem, they really hate patchouli. So feel free to use a little bit more of that. Even you can put in 15 drops if you want to, especially if they are really bad. You get 15 drops of tea tree, of lemongrass, of peppermint, of lavender, of citronella, and you add 35 drops of the TerraShield, and that is from our 15 ml dropper bottle. You add an ounce of witch hazel to that, an ounce of fractionated coconut oil, and then top up the rest with your distilled water. Now, the witch hazel will help it dispense a little bit more and sort of be more like a spritz than spraying it and having it be wet on the skin. The witch hazel kind of almost, I find it's a good dispersant. It's very good for spritzes and sprays. And we made some up last year and actually still have the bottle. It still smells amazing. We're using it already again in the spring. I haven't even made a new one, and it still seems to be doing the trick, working really, really well. And it's actually got our Manitoba bug spray label on it that I made, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So I've used this one on our on the areas. Even I'll kind of spritz around my garden area that I'm working on just to give me a little extra protection too. But I love this spray. So this is your camping spray recipe if you want to take a screenshot of that guy. And again, if you don't have any of these oils, having most of them or some of them will still be helpful. This is just kind of the 2.0 version that we have found and refined over the years that we love. So we like to share this one. So let's talk ticks for a moment. TikTok now. A lot of people, there was all of these rumors going around before where if you had a tick, you're supposed to put oil on it and let it back out. And this is something that we say not to do. Now, one of the things that has been discovered about ticks is if you irritate them, if you poke at them, if you slather them or put Vaseline on them or Listerine or whatever it is, if you put something on them, what it can cause them to do is to regurgitate into your body, and we do not want that. The idea is always plucking the tick off as quickly and as easily as possible without irritating it as much as you can. Now, literally just pop that tick off, get rid of it. I won't talk about the ways to destroy a tick because I'm sure you guys all know how difficult that is, but getting them away from you and dispersed and dispensed and back into the earth, however you choose to do so. So literally just yank that tick off, and then you can start using your oils to really help to calm, soothe, and boost the immune system so that it can fight whatever that tick may have transferred to you. Now, we use a 5 ml roller. So that is that little guy that I showed you that I had for the bug bite relief roller. That was a recipe for a 10 ml bottle, but I actually make that recipe in a 5 ml bottle for Manitoba. I made that's the exact recipe that I make, but I make it in a 5 ml bottle. This for tick removal is in a 5 ml bottle, and you're just using 2 drops of each of the following of these oils. So you use thyme, you use On Guard, use Melissa, tea tree, oregano, and clove. Now, these might seem like big guns. They might seem like hot oils. You think Melissa, like that's a really kind of a crazy expensive, magnificent oil, but it's incredible for antiviral. And when we're talking ticks, we want to make sure that we're not getting anything viral. Even with, things when you're looking at Lyme disease and things like this, you're wanting to boost your immune system as much as possible and going straight to the source, straight to the area to help it to heal as quickly as possible is what we are trying to encourage. So we don't have to put it right on the bite, but what I do is actually put it right around the bite. So if it's a little bit sensitive, and especially if it's open skin, you want to literally just draw a circle around that bite with your roller ball, and you're just going to rub it into the area, and you're going to do that for 3 days. The next thing you do is you take your roller and you actually roll it down your spine and over your feet for a whole week after you've been bit by a tick. We also recommend taking On Guard Plus, the capsules that you can get from the States that are amazing. They have the Melissa and the oregano in them as well. Super great for antiviral. It's going to boost your immune system so that if something was going to try and get into your system, it just doesn't have a fighting chance. The other thing is gut health. So taking GX Assist twice a day for 10 days is going to make sure that your gut is healthy enough to be able to fight anything else off that is underlying with these darn things. So hopefully, I'm not going too fast. Hopefully I am. With the burn and pop. I see your comment with the peppermint oil for headaches, right? Isn't it amazing for headaches? It works. It so works. Burn and pop, torch the things. Oh, I hate ticks. Just hate ticks. And I pull probably 20 a day off of each of my horses. They're just disgusting. Ugh. All right. Now, this is my kind of summer survival kit. I really like just having these particular items on hand. Of course, the On Guard hand sanitizer. It's going to be great for cleaning anything, even if you have sticky messes before you're going to maybe eat something like watermelon or share a popsicle or, something like that where we're getting back out into the world now. We're going to be at a barbecue. This is a hand sanitizer that when you spray, everybody goes, oh my gosh, that smells so good. And you're also boosting your immune system while being around lots of people. So super good cleanser to have no matter what it happens to be. Peppermint, again, for the head tension or headaches, giving you a little bit of energy, but such a way to cool down so quickly. Just a little swipe over the back of the neck and it's just magical. For motion sickness, upset stomach, any kind of stomach thing where you're maybe feeling a little even bit of heat stroke or just unwell in the stomach, however it may be, and you want to kind of get out. This is such a magical oil. Putting a little bit of Zengest over your stomach. It also has the peppermint in it, so it's going to be nice and cooling, but it's going to calm indigestion. It's going to calm nausea. It's going to calm that sort of heat strokey type of feeling. I think everybody probably could have used that this week. Lavender, amazing. If you don't have any of the bug bite rollers, if you haven't made any of those up, lavender is a natural antihistamine, so just rolling it on or around the area is really going to help to calm that bug bite down. It's also going to help relax the nervous system, so even if you have a little one that's stressed out, or they're getting rashes or they're getting bites, they're getting things that you're not even understanding, the lavender is going to be your key to be able to have some sleepful nights. TerraShield is that spray I was talking about, just awesome to have in the car or your bag so that you can literally spritz anybody down at any point and have them not only be happy, but repel bugs as well. And for those who haven't tried Correct X, it is a good little hack to be able to use for bug bites as well. If you have, say, a bug bite that's irritated, that's already been scratched a lot, that you don't want to put one of our rollers on, if that peppermint in there is just a little bit too much, the Correct X is kind of like our natural polysporin, I guess you could say. It's an ointment, but any kind of wound, any kind of owie, any kind of boo-boo, any bug bite, any burn, anything that we've talked about already can be corrected with Correct X. It's quite amazing stuff. It's something that we never go without. We always have Correct X in or around us somewhere. Now, something that I love to do is to drink my oils. A lot of people kind of go, "Oh, are you sure about that?" But of course, with doTERRA, absolutely, I'm sure about that. One of the things I discovered was how yummy Kumquat is. It's our free oil this month. If you are a wellness advocate and you order your 125 PV by the 15th of the month, you get a free kumquat oil. And that's something that only happens once a year. It doesn't always happen every year because I'm watching for kumquat. Kumquat's I think my family favorite. It's one of the ones that has like 42 chemical constituents that no other oil has, where it's super uplifting. It's amazing for seasonal affective disorder, all this kind of stuff. Like, I just love kumquat, and we put kumquat and lavender and lilac in a pitcher the other night and had this amazing tea. It was so good. My kids couldn't figure out what I had done that was different, and I had put kumquat in there, like, what is this? So good. But that's an oil that too, you can just take on your hands and just literally inhale. I think I missed that screen. I was going too quick at the beginning. The three different ways that you use oils are internally, where you can drink them, topically, where you're actually putting them on your skin, like we were talking about with the repellents, and then aromatically, where you're just smelling and you're literally just taking a diffuser or a drop on your hand and just cupping around your nose and mouth so that you can actually inhale them. So this lemonade that we made had kumquat in it, which was absolutely yummy. But we have a recipe here with lemon, grapefruit, and tangerine. You just literally drop about 3 or 4 drops in a pitcher of water of your favorite oil, and it's something you can kind of mix and match and taste. Wild orange is really good. Any kind of lavender you can end up putting in your water pitcher. You can literally cut up some lemons and oranges and stick them in. I like putting the oils in to the pitcher first with either whatever it is, like a touch of salt or citrus oil, citrus fruit, and dropping the oils right into that, and then adding my water and mixing it up. Throw a few mint leaves in there. But you can actually really encourage yourself to drink more water, because we get dehydrated just by sweating a little bit. Make a nice picture of this and put this in your fridge. And when you open your fridge and smell how good it smells, it'll make you just want to drink that water. And people love it. They have no idea, how you make such flavorful lemonades, and they remember you for it. So it's a beautiful way to just kind of spice up your hydration station a little bit. Now, the fun thing that I use oils for that a lot of people hadn't ever heard of was for my garden. I use oils now. Like I said, we have a whole gardening class that I'm going to do next week that I'll talk about each plant and the oils that it actually really likes. Because for my tomatoes, I use basil oil. For my carrots, I have rosemary. I just have these spritzer bottles, these continuous spray bottles out in the garden that I use for bug relief. And I'm having really good luck with my plants, whereas a lot of people's are already getting eaten, and they're having a lot of trouble with certain pest issues. So this is a way that you can actually kind of control most of the pests just by making this one recipe, so you don't have to have all mixed ones. It's going to be protective against things like slugs, aphids, ants. Ants hate peppermint. Slugs hate cedar wood. All of these aphids really don't like the peppermint as well. The flying insects really don't like the lemon grass and the lavender and the cedar wood. So it keeps even lace flies, things like this, away from your plants, because they have been terrible this year. A lot of people are losing a lot of their gardens by all these little holes in the leaves. So your radishes, you can spray all your veggies down with this. It's a really cool recipe. So a 16-ounce glass spray bottle, 2 tablespoons of castile soap. Castile soap you can just find at usually any bulk food store, any health food store, whichever you tend to go to more often. And then you're going to use 5 drops of each of these oils. So we have lemongrass, peppermint, lavender, and cedar wood. You're going to take 5 drops of each of those oils, and you're going to fill them into that 16-ounce glass spray bottle with your soap, and you're going to literally just go out to your plants early in the morning or later at night, once the sun has set or before the sun has risen. And you're going to just give your plants a spritz. You're going to spritz the ground around the plants, and you're also going to spritz the plants themselves. And this is going to really help to keep those pests away from your plants and protect them during the day and during the night. So I really like using this spray. Like I say, we have a whole class just on gardening. So if you guys are around next week, you can definitely hop onto that, where we talk about some other things too, like diatomaceous earth and some other ways when you're both planting, harvesting, and growing your plants to be able to utilize your oils as much as possible, because it'll actually help your plants grow. I find more so than if you're not using anything like that. So it's really quite cool. Now, again, with this, there's only 20 drops of oil for a 16-ounce glass spray bottle. And you've noticed some of the recipes that we had, it was just a 4-ounce bottle, like our bug spray. We were using probably close to 100 drops in that. This is because it's food. We're going to be using a little bit less. But if you find that you have a really bad bug problem, again, 2.0 Manitoba style, You can also double this, so you can actually put 40 drops in a 16-ounce glass spray bottle. If you are really like, if you're noticing already that you have lots of holes in your plants and things like that already, you might need to, or you have a lot of ants, things like that, you might want to put the 40 drops of oil. So that would be 10 drops of each of those oils into a 16-ounce glass spray bottle. And you don't have to remix the spray every day. You just literally use that whole bottle until it's done. And that's why we say use a glass spray bottle, because the oils can break down the glass after a little while. Now, one of the fun things I discovered last year was using wild orange in my flower gardens. Wow, does that work for pollination? The bees started to, it was like I put out a honing signal for bees when I sprayed my flowers and my flower garden with wild orange. So 4-ounce spray bottle, 6 drops of wild orange, top it off with water, and just go around and spritz your flowers, spritz your outside of your garden. If you're trying to get your pollinators, if you have corn, you want to use this, and cucumbers. A lot of people had problems last year with things not being pollinated just because the bees weren't showing up. Wild orange, it's the key, it's the trick. It's so cool and it works. It's beautiful too if you have, if you have a little apartment and you just have some flower pots outside to spritz them with the wild orange, because it will attract the bees to come, and they'll come and pollinate your flowers and make them bloom even more. And then you get to have the love in your heart that you have been helping bees along the way. So it's really cool. Really does work. I have proof of that. It absolutely blew me away. So again, just a little recap: summer essentials: after sun, burns, anything like that, soothing the skin, rashes, antihistamine type relief, you want lavender. Peppermint is going to cool you down like crazy. TerraShield is going to keep those bugs away. Peppermint's also going to help you with, sunstroke, things like that, where it'll actually calm your system. And then your On Guard is going to keep your immune system up and clean your hands and keep your whole environment clean. And our Clean and Safe skincare and sun care line. The after sun spray, the face and body stick, the face and body lotion, and then the body spray. So those are the different items that we have. We have a lot of really fun things in June that are promotions right now. Finally, in Canada, we got the shampoo and conditioner bars, which is exciting. Those are something that I use all the time. Those smell so good. I don't know if you guys have used them yet, but even my curly hair responds so well to them. My kids love them. It doesn't strip the oils from your hair, I find, like any other shampoo does. Just incredible, those shampoo and conditioner bars. So that's exciting. Kumquat, it's free this month. So if you don't want your kumquat, hook me up, I'll buy it. So we go through bottles of it. I love it. Oregano is 10% off this month. So that's something that is again handy in your garden. You're going to want that for garden spray. And the On Guard hand sanitizing mist is 20% off. So that's something that doesn't always happen either. As well, 20% off, we have our hydrating body mist and our soul perfume, which is super cool. Those are both beautiful items that are more perfumey, that are something that if you haven't tried yet, it's a really great time to try it. And our Rose Duet is available right now as well. It's a limited time offer. Rose Water Mist. I don't know if you guys have tried those yet, but they are absolutely incredible. And not always available, and they do usually sell out rather quick. So something to just keep your eye out for this month. The other really neat thing with doTERRA is we have something called a Silver Club program, and one of our beautiful wellness advocates, Jen, is our oil fairy godmother for this month. So because she's with us on our class tonight, anybody that wanted some oils can order. If they order 100 PV, which is our product volume number, so it's the same in the States and Canada, it's around $100 usually. If you're going to order a few oils, we can give you a free Citrus Bliss, which is just amazing. If you guys have not smelt this, it's got clementine, wild orange, grapefruit, and vanilla, and it is heavenly. It's like a perfume, but it's like a happy, calming, it's just yummy. It just tastes like you want to, or smells like you want to eat the whole bottle. I use it on my dryer balls all the time. That's our laundry dryer detergent sheet. I make dryer balls, so I just put a couple drops of the Citrus Bliss on there, or you can get a blank laundry sheet, dryer sheet, and put your Citrus Bliss on there as well. Throw it in the dryer. You can throw it in the laundry, even when you're washing. Super good way to start the day. And it's something that you can just use on the bottoms of your feet just to kind of invigorate you, get you kind of motivated for your day. So this is something, a whole 15 ml bottle can be yours free this month as well. So if you are going to make an order and or want to, please get in touch with whoever invited you to the class tonight, because they will make sure that they get you a free Citrus Bliss so that you can enjoy that as well. And this month as well, if you order 150 PB as just a customer or a wellness advocate, you also get a free diffuser. Now, doTERRA's done something really cool. We always had a membership fee. You had to pay $42 just to be able to order oils, or you had to get a kit. And right now, there is no membership fee at all. You can order whatever you want, whenever you want. You can make up exactly whatever you want. There's no extra fee at all. We literally just order you the oils you want. Super, super simple. And if you order enough of them, we can give you a bunch of free stuff on top of that. And we do love spoiling you. So I tried to make this as simple as I could without going too much, but I might have talked really fast. So I would love to, I'm going to stop my share and I'm just going to open it up to just see if anybody has any questions, or if they needed me to go back to any of the slides. If you missed anything, if there was something that you might want confirmation on, feel free to pop off of mute. You are more than welcome to. I can see you all, so if you have any questions, or you can put it in the chat as well. Yes, Karen, go right ahead.
If you don't have the wild orange, can you use just the other orange oil?
If it is, I don't know that doTERRA has another orange oil. Some people have like a sweet orange oil at home from like another company or whatever. I'm always hesitant to mix and match, but honestly, wild orange and the sweet orange, the only difference is that the sweet orange is more like a clementine. So it's not going to hurt, and it's probably going to work really well. And if it was for something like your pollinator sprays, for example, there's absolutely no reason that you couldn't just use whatever orange oil you have at home. It would probably work just as well. I haven't tried it with any other oil. It was doTERRA's wild orange that I used, but it worked fabulously. It was really cool. It was just like, literally, it was like the bees smelt it and came running. It was so cool. It's like, there's so many bees.
I do have the doTERRA orange, so maybe it is wild orange.
It probably is wild orange, because they have, yeah, I know with grapefruit we have like regular grapefruit and then there's white grapefruit, but I think orange, it was always the wild orange that they had. But I know with a lot of companies it's not called wild orange, it's called sweet orange, or there's a different kind of orange that they call it, but it would likely be the same. And as far as a pollinator go, it would be fabulous to use. It shouldn't be a problem at all. Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. How about anybody else? Did anyone else have any questions about any ticks or bugs or dogs or anything? I also have a great horse recipe, horse spray recipe. So if anybody's a horse owner out there that wants that, definitely shoot Rosetta or I a message, because we have this amazing recipe that we have sort of also find and refined over time that works really good too. Melissa, I think you might have joined in a little bit late. I do have a recording. I did record this class, so I can always send it to you if you want. You can throw your email in the chat or send it to whoever had invited you. Make sure that I get your email, and then I can send you the recording if you wanted, so that you can make sure that you catch all the info that we may have missed. I just see someone else popped in the waiting room there too. Hopefully I didn't have them waiting in there too long. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did record it, so that is no problem at all. We went through sunscreens, right, and the horse recipe. Sure, yes, absolutely. The horse recipe, I can tell you right now so that you have it. I don't actually have it on my computer. I have it on my phone, so I can't actually transfer it into the chat just because I'm on I am on Zoom from my laptop versus my phone itself, but the horse spray is using a 1 liter spray bottle, and I use a little bit, about a tablespoon of Castile soap, again, that liquid soap. So you're going to use, so a liter spray bottle, a tablespoon of liquid soap, and then you're going to add half a bottle, so about 140 drops or 120 drops or so of TerraShield, and then 20 drops each of lavender. Actually, I'll type that in. Lavender, cedarwood, citronella, geranium, lemongrass, and lemon eucalyptus. So that is 20 drops of each of those, and then about 120 drops of TerraShield. And remember, this is in a big 1 liter bottle. And then you are literally just going to fill that bottle with water, give it a good shake, and then you're going to spritz your horses. Now, the one thing I did add to this was also patchouli as well, just because with the patchouli, it was really good for the flies. And like I say, these horse flies have been insane out here lately. So I find that this works. This is something that, and a liter bottle will last me. I spray them every day, sometimes twice, 3 times a day. And that lasts me probably close to a month, maybe about 3 weeks. I just have my 2 horses, so that it lasts me quite a while. So you think, half a bottle of TerraShield, but it's not chemical, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper than buying conch and all that kind of stuff that you're often putting on your horses. So that's 20 drops each of those single oils that I typed in there, 120 of TerraShield, a tablespoon of Castile soap, and that's all in a big liter spritz bottle. And Dawn, I'm so sorry. It looks like I had you stuck in the waiting room there. If you are interested at all in the recording of the class, I just went through a little presentation and slideshow on everything from sunscreens to pest control to skin relief and pets and all that kind of stuff. So if you'd like the recording, feel free to either, you can type your email into the chat for me, or shoot whoever invited you a message, and I'll be sending the class to all of the wellness advocates on the call tonight too, so that they have it, so that they can forward it on to you if you want. I just have to transfer it over, so we can happily get you the recording so that you can watch at your convenience after, because I think I let you in a little bit late there. I apologize. So yeah, absolutely. Did anyone else have any questions before I let you guys go this evening? Awesome. Look at me keeping it under an hour. Usually I'm chatting over time, and I'm like, I'm sorry for keeping you guys so much information. So like I said, on this link next week, Wednesday at 7, we're going to be doing a gardening class just on its own. So it's not quite an hour, but has lots and lots of great information about the plants and the oils that work really well, and what I've found has worked over the years in my garden. And yeah,
Get down for a minute.
I'll just stop the recording, and I'll give